Hi, welcome to my financial markets recap for the week. It's John Bannon here at comotech.com. How are you all this early evening? Before we get to the news, a quick update on the system, how we're doing. As I mentioned last week, we are still in a long trade and we are still in that long trade. A couple more days to go in this one basically. So in this particular forecast, the market's been doing exactly what we expected it to do. We did expect it to go sideways, a little bit in weakness this week, and that's exactly what it's done. But we expected the recovery later in the week, and again, that's exactly what's happened. It doesn't always go that way. We don't always get it spot on, but that's what we expected, and that's exactly what's happened. So if you're in this monster winner, the exit is coming, just a little longer, and the finish line is fast approaching. It's been a long haul. This one's been a few weeks, and I'm looking forward to talking more about this particular trade next week when it's actually closed. A couple more days to go in this one. So that's the system update, that's where we're at. Things are going great. This week, in terms of news, what happened in the market, the US consumer prices hit a 30-year high. The Labour Department reported October's Consumer Price Index, which measures prices of 80,000 consumer products overall. And the prices jumped 6.2% from October last year. So the fastest yearly increase in 30 years. So inflation really is starting to pick up. Everything from your gas bill to your breakfast is getting higher in cost and getting more expensive. Fuel costs climbed 12.3% last month alone, and are now up 59.1% for the year. I mean, it's just compared to this time last year. So big moves up in gasoline prices and oil prices. Meat and poultry, fish, eggs increased 1.7% and have climbed almost 12% for the year. So things are really piping up there. While the Fed still expects inflation to be temporary, prices have been surging. These supply bottlenecks are still very much in place across a bunch of industries, and perhaps if we can get the supply chains under control, we'll start to see some kind of stabilisation in prices. In fact, this week, Biden outlined a multi-billion-dollar plan to upgrade the US ports as part of that $1 trillion infrastructure bill. And it's a bid to address this brutal supply chain blockage that's happening. So more access to ports being bigger, easier access for ships, then things will start speeding up again, because it's getting a little crazy. There's a lot of ships still offshore, can't get things off quick enough. The good news is inflation's been this is good news, obviously, to get this bottleneck dealt with, because inflation has been climbing at 5% for the last 5 months, 5 straight months of 5% inflation. That is very high. The Fed's mandate is 2% or thereabouts, and they're obviously it's more than double that now. So getting a little scary. The Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen did stress on Tuesday that the officials, they don't think they're going to let inflation get out of control like the 70s and 80s, where it was just hyperinflation. She said that isn't happening now, and the Federal Reserve wouldn't permit it to happen. So we'll see. Can she really take control of it? Can she really get it under control? We'll see how well they do in the months and quarters to come. The next news story is good news as far as I'm concerned. Drunk driving may finally be phased out. When President Biden signs the $1 trillion infrastructure bill on Monday, he'll be putting into effect the government's biggest push yet to end drunk driving. So as part of that bill, by 2026, automakers will be required to install technology that detects and prevents intoxicated drivers from hitting the road. So around 10,000 people are killed in drunk driving accidents every year, making up about 30% of the traffic accidents that are happening. It is I think that there's 9,400 deaths a year in traffic accidents. It's awful. Personally, I think this is a great thing. And Mothers Against Drunk Driving called it the mandate that the single most important legislation passed by the advocacy group in its history. So really common sense technology as far as I'm concerned. Really great news. In other news, really kind of cool, this is that virtual fitting rooms could be a thing of the future. Since 2010, companies have been working on some form of technology that allows shoppers to try on clothes from the comfort of their own homes. So that retailers and tech companies have really latched onto this idea of solving the challenge via a mixture of augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, cameras, and other forms of sensors. Wouldn't that be cool? Virtual reality high street shopping, shopping in Paris and Milan without ever leaving your home. Like wild stuff, but could be a thing of our future. Who knows? In earnings, the earnings at the home of Baby Yoda is not doing great this week. Disney shares dropped 7% on Thursday, the biggest drop since last year. And the company was announcing a slowdown, an abrupt slowdown in the subscribers to Disney Plus. Now, that subscriber slowdown was sort of expected, but it was much more stark than the investors expected. The market was sort of a little surprised by this. And the subscriber slowdown isn't just Disney exclusive. It appears that the US streaming services in general are reaching saturation level. Netflix, believe it or not, added just 88,000 subscribers in the US and Canada this year. 88,000, I mean, wow, right? That is not a lot of growth compared to where they were. It's down from like 6 million they added in 2020 and 3 million they added in 2019, so that is a significant drop for even from the giant Netflix. But obviously people are keeping their memberships, so it's not terrible news for Netflix. They've still got a massive subscriber base there, but things are certainly slowing down. It seems that basically everyone that's going to subscribe to these services and these streams are already doing so. There's not a lot more business out there for them. And lastly, last piece of news, on the light-hearted side of things, this week the 33rd World Cheese Awards just happened. The winner was a soft goat cheese called from a Spanish artisan cheesemaker called Quesos y Besos, which translated English means cheeses and kisses, and it's apparently so good one of the judges said, I just wanted to go to bed with it. So it must be some really good cheese, right? So I need to look that up and get some of that stuff. Quesos y Besos, cheeses and kisses, so check it out. That's it for me. It's the weekend, time it down tools. Have a great weekend everyone, thanks for watching, and bye for now.